Hello guys, welcome back to Mull. Slightly dreary day, but at least it's a little drier than last time I spoke to you. Today's message from Mull is all about the Goldilocks Rule. Now, for those of you who I guess are probably under the age of 40, you might need to Google Goldilocks. But I'm hoping that most of you will get the idea. And Goldilocks was in a sort of children's story about a little girl that goes into the woods and finds the home of three bears. And when she eventually gets around to stealing their porridge, one is too cold, one is too hot, one is just right, and that's what we're going to refer to here. Because the question of how we design habits that maintain our enthusiasm has been really well researched. And one of the consistent findings is that when it comes to setting ourselves a challenge, what we like is something that is just manageable. Now, the human brain loves a challenge, but only within a sort of optimal difficulty zone. And I'll explain this. So, I'm a cyclist, as most of you know, and I used to get a real kick out of competing with old friends and colleagues down in Newcastle. We'd go out into the hills of northern England and I guess the borders of Scotland. And I used to enjoy competing with them, taking them on hills in a friendly sort of way. I'm not a professional. But I would get a kick out of that challenge because I knew that we were in the same ballpark in terms of ability level. And that's the sort of challenge that appealed to me. Now, if I was to take my little girl who's 6 years old out cycling, then that wouldn't be much of a challenge, much too easy, and I would get bored pretty soon. However, if I was to go out against, say, Tour de France winner Chris Froome, then probably within the first half hour he might actually be in a different postcode to me. So that would be too difficult. So the key is trying to find a challenge and a task that you can set yourself that's just completable, that's just manageable. And what we end up doing is, I suppose, hitting a sort of sweet spot where distractions fade away and we're sort of truly invested in the task in hand. It's also called a sort of flow state, or some of you might have heard the term in the zone. And quite often that's a great area where we're not thinking about everything else that's going on in our lives. We're not thinking about perhaps the pain that we're experiencing or the health conditions that we've got going on. We're just focusing on a challenge in hand that is just right for us. And that's why we refer to this as the Goldilocks Rule. So when it comes to setting yourself an activity program, setting yourself a challenge within that activity program, try to set tasks which are attractive and satisfying, but perhaps just at the edge of your ability level. Now, when I mention the word edge, that's probably maybe using the wrong word. I don't want you working on the edge. That T-shirt you often see. If you're living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. That's not what this is about. It's about setting tasks that are just manageable, just completable, because that's the sort of zone that's going to maintain your enthusiasm and keep you hungry for more. The other thing we can do, obviously, is try to introduce some variety into our exercise routine. Variety is the spice of life, so regular changes will help to maintain your focus and stop you becoming bored, because boredom really is the arch enemy of self-improvement. There's a way to finish a message from Mull, eh? So look after yourselves, set challenges that are just manageable, and I'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.